Today's second video for you with new stories from Ethiopia and Somalia. Firstly, Somalia, where a local flight crash landed at Mogadishu airport a few hours ago. 30 passengers and crew members were on board. 36 were on board this flight. What happened there? Second news story is about Ethiopian PM Abiy. Where is he? For the last 4 to 5 days, PM Abiy has not been seen in public, and now some analysts, some journalists who are pro-PM, they are saying that PM Abiy is back on front lines. He was on front lines last year when Tigray forces were in Amhara and Afar regions. He was seen clad in military uniform. So where is he now? Thirdly, we have a new story about Oromo Liberation Army. OLA is going to hold a Zoom meeting. Yes, after a few days, on the 21st of July, this meeting will be held. Who will attend this meeting? And general perception is that OLA is fighting in forests. It has its hideouts in rural areas. But can OLA organize a Zoom conference with participation of all commanders, participation of Oromo diaspora as well? And lastly, very important news story, perhaps the breaking news should be this news story. It is from Tigray. Tigray regional government a few hours ago issued a statement. The statement is against Tigray region's opposition parties. Tigray government has leveled some serious allegations against the opposition parties. Patience should not be seen as weakness. That is what Tigray government said, among other things. This statement is very threatening. We'll have a detailed look at this statement. Why is that Tigray government and opposition parties of Tigray are at war? Firstly, viewers, Somalia, where a passenger plane crash landed today in Mogadishu. Kenyan registered aircraft which was being operated by Juba Airways. Juba Airways is Somalia's airline, and this aircraft took off from Badwa. Badwa is in southwest state of Somalia. It was due to arrive in Mogadishu Aden Ade airport, but it crash landed at Mogadishu airport at around 11:30 local time, and its engines caught fire. Luckily, all 37 passengers and crew members on board were rescued. They survived, and Somalia's firefighters then reached this place, and the plane was heavily damaged because it caught fire. But before that, all passengers were rescued at Aden Ade airport of Mogadishu. Investigations are underway. What was the cause of this accident? But luckily, all passengers on board have survived. In another news from Somalia, Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, Somalia's president, is back in Mogadishu. He was in Djibouti on 2-day official visit, where Ismail Omar, Djibouti's president, warmly welcomed him. Hassan Sheikh, was granted Medal of Honor by Ismail Omar. Though no joint statement has been released after Ismail Omar Hassan Sheikh meetings, but he was welcomed with open arms by Ismail Omar, and now Hassan Sheikh is back in Mogadishu. He was due to travel to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, but last night we reported that Ethiopia refused this visit of Hassan Sheikh due to PM Abiy's busy schedule. In the next video, we'll have another look at strained Somalia-Ethiopia relations. Hassan Sheikh is back in Mogadishu. Secondly, our second news story is about Ethiopian PM Abiy. Where is he? For the last 4 to 5 days, we have not seen him. He was seen last time, I think, when he addressed Ethiopian House of Representatives. He took questions there. And since then, he has not been seen in public. Where is he? Since yesterday, some pro-PM Abiy analysts and journalists have been claiming that PM Abiy is back on the battlefield. He is once again leading his forces. Last year, I think it was November or December, when PM Abiy was seen heading to front lines. He was seen clad in military uniform in a far region. He was seen in a far region, then he was seen in Amhara region. And it was said that he was leading his forces from the front against Tigray Defense Force, and TDF then had to retreat from Amhara far regions. Was this retreat due to PM Abiy's leadership? I said back then that PM Abiy came to the scene after he knew that his forces had an advantage, and his forces had clear advantage, and Tigray forces were retreating. So it's not that it was due to PM Abiy's leadership that TDF suffered losses. It was mainly due to the use of combat drones. TDF had no answer when these combat drones started their precision strikes on TDF positions. So last year, he went to the battlefront when he knew that his forces had considerable advantage and TDF was about to retreat. If this time he is in the battlefield, it means that according to his assessment, his forces are in a commanding position, and he could be in Valaga, because Valaga is the place where Valaga is the zone where massive clashes and fighting are being reported between OLA and Ethiopian National Defense Force, regional forces as well. Is he in Valaga? So far, no pictures. Last year, he showed his pictures from afar, from Amhara. This time, no pictures so far. But analysts, journalists backed by the government are claiming that PM Abiy is back leading his troops from the front. Meanwhile, if PM Abiy is back in the battlefield, OLA is so organized that it is planning to hold a Zoom conference. Almost all people who cover OLA's activities, all journalists, reporters, they don't see OLA as a very sophisticated group armed with modern gadgets. But it seems that OLA is gradually evolving into an armed group with modern equipment, with access to internet, with new weaponry, with trainings, with specified units and with chain of command as well. Because on the 21st of July, OLA will conduct a Zoom meeting. The meeting will be attended by Jalmaro, OLA Komsa Dereba Jalmaro, OLA's top commander. Gamacho Boy will be there as well, deputy commander. All other regional commanders will also be part of this Zoom meeting from central, southern, western, eastern zones of Oromia. If all OLA commanders join this Zoom conference, it means that all of them have access to internet. All of them are not in just forests hiding from government forces. And reportedly, some Oromo diaspora which supports OLA, which funds OLA, will also attend this meeting due to be held on the 21st of July. We'll update you after this meeting what will be discussed. Again, what I want to say is that government says operation after operation is being launched, OLA has been weakened, OLA commanders are on the run. They are taking refuge in neighboring countries, cities, towns cleared. And here OLA is organizing a Zoom conference with all commanders participating, Oromo diaspora as well. We'll update you on the 21st of July and after this meeting about the agenda, the issue discussed in the meeting. Lastly, it seems that Tigray regional government led by Tigray People Liberation Front and opposition parties of Tigray are at war. Their differences are turning into disagreements. Disagreements are turning into open confrontation, it seems. I have been reporting since we saw some heated engagement between Tigray regional government and opposition parties. People accused me, Sajid, you are fanning conflicts in Tigray. But today, Tigray regional government released a statement. You can read the statement, it's available. The statement is very severe criticism of Tigray region's opposition parties. The title of the statement is Disrupting Our People's Struggle. Title. Who is disrupting? Opposition parties. Tigray regional government says in the statement that Tigray region conducted a regional election despite opposition, despite difficult circumstances, and a regional government was elected. The regional government, with the help of the people of Tigray, with TDF and diaspora, fought for the protection of the people of Tigray. This regional government has been working to ensure that people's rights are protected at any cost. Some opposition parties are disrupting people's struggle. I am reading mostly quote unquote, not my words. The statement states that opposition parties are leveling baseless accusations against regional government. They are calling the government illegitimate, though the government was formed after regional election held in 2020. Thirdly, these opposition parties are demanding, some of them are demanding transitional government, some demand coalition, which is against the law, because Tigray regional government of TPLF is an elected government. So, activities of opposition parties are hindering people's struggle. The statement says that Tigray opposition parties were issuing statements, but in recent days, their words are now turning into actions. They're involved in activities which are against the struggle of the people of Tigray. Emergency regulations are being violated. No details, but the government says some emergency regulations enforced in Tigray are being violated by Tigray's opposition parties. And people are being misguided by these opposition parties. Now, what does Tigray government want? Tigray government says it has been trying its best to take these parties on board, to make them join struggle, people struggle, Tigray's struggle, because Tigray's fight for protection of its rights is not over. Struggle is ongoing. These parties are not joining the struggle. They are hindering the struggle. So that is why now people of Tigray should fight these opposition parties. And Tigray government is threatening these opposition parties. Tigray government says that Tigray government's patience should not be seen as weakness. Tigray government is not weak. It is showing patience because it wants to create unity in Tigray, but opposition parties are destroying internal unity in Tigray. It cannot be clearer than that. Opposition parties and Tigray ruling party of TPLF are at war. And that is why perhaps we have seen that Tigray has not formed a committee of negotiators. Ethiopian government formed 7-member committee a few days ago. The committee has held internal meetings as well. No committee formed by Tigray so far. Why? Because there are internal divisions. These parties, opposition parties, say that Tigray regional government does not have the authority to hold talks with Ethiopian federal government. That is why there is no consensus in Tigray about the formation of committee of negotiators. The delay which we are seeing, one of the reasons behind this delay is this problem in Tigray. And secondly, I am unable to understand why is that Tigray's ruling party cannot create consensus with small 3 opposition parties. I mean, Tigray Independence Party, Salse Woyene, Betona, 3 main parties, and Dori Esgidam is in prison, so his party is not very active in Tigray. 3 opposition parties, very small parties, which got less than 10,000 votes individually in 2020 election. These parties and Tigray regional government of TPLF, they have been unable to create consensus. Serious problems, political disagreements, turning into confrontation in Tigray. Tigray government is threatening that it will take action. Action is already underway, by the way. Opposition parties say their meetings are being stormed. They are being stopped from carrying out political activities. So, opposition is already under pressure from Tigray regional government. But this tussle is dangerous for Tigray, for the people of Tigray, because Tigray is about to start talks with Ethiopian federal government. If there is no internal unity in Tigray, it means that talks will be delayed, and the result of talks will not be welcomed by all parties, all sections in Tigray. So, this statement is once again a confirmation that Tigray regional government of TPLF is facing internal crisis. Thanks for watching.